How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. If you guys would, please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really do enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button. That way you guys do not miss out on future videos or streams here on my channel. And I hope you guys will enjoy the video. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people are discussing when it comes to Star Wars games. And that is, we need Star Wars Battlefront 3. And how Star Wars Battlefront 3, my apologies, could happen. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be at least another 5-10 years because of what's going on right now with Disney and their focus on more of the movie and TV show side of things. Well, Respawn has been making Star Wars games alongside of DICE. And DICE was the people that gave us Star Wars Battlefront for 2015 and then the sequel in 2017. And while I enjoyed both of them for what they were, I feel like a Star Wars Battlefront 3 would be something that not only DICE, Respawn, EA, Disney, whoever, they could make a lot of money from it. I think the biggest problem that Battlefront 2 had and why its post-launch support got canceled is it didn't make money. Let's be honest, it didn't make money. Like, yeah, the game it sold good for what it was, but then after about a month or so, it was on sale. There were sometimes you could just download it for free. There was tons of free trial and weekends, and the cosmetics were supposed to be the thing, kind of like Fortnite or Apex Legends, for example. The cosmetic side of it for your heroes, your villains, your troopers, and such, that's where the money was supposed to come in to help support more post-launch content, whether that's modes, maps, new characters to play as, things of that nature. The problem is that with Battlefront 2, people played it so much because it was the only Star Wars multiplayer game around, so people were constantly setting up their in-game currency from completing matches and doing challenges. They used that to buy the cosmetics instead of spending money out their wallet to buy those cosmetics when they came around, because the cosmetics that did came so infrequently. Like, we would get a couple new cosmetics like every 3 to 4 months. By that time the new cosmetics rolled around, people had stored up enough in-game currency to not have to spend money, and so EA and DICE never made really a penny off of those cosmetics. Star Wars Battlefront 3 needs to have that front and center. They need to have... Now, I know you might be thinking, wait a minute, you're saying they need to have front and center microtransactions? Yes. If they're going to make it a live service model where you don't have to pay for like a battle pass, you don't have to pay for maps, you don't have to pay for modes, which is what we've come to expect from the past decade of gaming now, they need to have microtransactions, and they need to not make it such a microtransaction heavy game like past EA titles have, but they need to make it where there is a rhyme and a reason to buy those cosmetics. Like, they need to have a bunch of them constantly coming into the store. And don't make it where the cosmetics leave, because I will happily buy cosmetics if they're cool and great. Especially for like prequel things. Now, you might be thinking, okay, how could they do a Battlefront 3? Because a lot of stuff that a lot of the community, when it comes to Star Wars multiplayer games, was in Battlefront 2 from 2017. Well, if you're like me and you've been playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor recently, they have a bunch of awesome, cool concepts that they could put from Survivor into a multiplayer facet for a Battlefront 3. Now, what I mean by that is that in Survivor, and if you guys haven't played it, which if you haven't, spoilers ahead, but it's been out for a few weeks. In Survivor, there is locations, there's planets, there's lore, there's vehicles, there's weapons, there's tons of fun things related to not only the Old Republic, but the High Republic era. Could you imagine Star Wars Battlefront 3 not only selling us on the fact that we're going to get everything from the original trilogy, the prequels, the sequels, but we could get stuff from the Old Republic era that takes place before Episode 1, and then the High Republic era that takes place before the Old Republic era. How's about we get content from things like, I don't know, more Star Wars The Clone Wars stuff for characters and planets. Like that night map that's at the beginning of Season 4 for Clone Wars. Why don't we get that? Where's Mandalore? I mean, that was famous in not only Clone Wars and Rebels, but it's in the Mandalorian show. Where are the Mandalorian characters? We could get some stuff from, the Lando show, stuff from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Ahsoka, the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew. You see where I'm going with all that? You have so many things, movie and Star Wars TV show-wise, you could port over, make all that stuff into a multiplayer video game. So you could have all that stuff, High Republic, Old Republic, and everything I just mentioned, planets, characters, buildings, weapons out the wazoo. You could have factions, customization, whether that's paid or earned through playing the game, cosmetics, lightsaber customization. Could you imagine having one, character running around playing as an Old Republic with an Old Republic Sith, with an Old Republic Sith lightsaber versus Luke Skywalker, who has an original trilogy? Like, the combinations, the chaos, the craziness would be fabulous. It would be awesome. It is just blowing my mind that Disney, Lucasfilm, whoever, the fact that they are making all this, you have such deep lore and worlds you have an entire universe to explore. You have an entire galaxy to explore when it comes to Star Wars. And while I understand that DICE is more focused on Battlefield and Respawn has been focused more on the Jedi games, and we are getting Star Wars Eclipse eventually, we need a multiplayer game. And I think what I just mentioned for content-wise, port over everything that Battlefront 2 had, make it much better without the bugs and the glitches at launch. Make it where, you don't have to spend 40 hours or $400 to get Darth Vader when the game launches. If you guys don't remember that, that's what it was like for Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017 when it launched. Ridiculous. Don't repeat the same mistakes of the past two games. Make it where it's a solid launch. And now, if we don't get that for another 6-7 years because you guys want to make it really polished, I understand. But people are like, well, we don't need a Battlefront 2 because Battlefront 3 because it would just be Battlefront 2, but in a new engine. I have a gut feeling we'll probably get a Battlefront 3 when we get the PlayStation 5 and whatever the next Xbox is after the current consoles generation. But Battlefront 3 could happen. There is content out there. And anyone says that, they just don't have enough stuff that they can make it worth calling it a new game. You have past games, you have books, you have the extended universe, you've got Old Republic and High Republic that you're putting into single-player games. Why can't you port all those types of concepts and ideas into a multiplayer game? Just make it like Battlefield, where you have Conquest and Breakthrough, but it's Star Wars version. That's all Battlefront 3 really needs to be. Now, if we got some space combat, that would be epic. Some galactic conquest and stuff like that. Just fun game modes, and that's what we need, because even after I finish Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I'm going to be thinking, okay, when and what is the next Star Wars game? Because we don't know. We don't have a clue. The fact that after Jedi Survivor comes out, the next two games that I'm probably most excited for to play that are new is going to be Starfield and that Ubisoft Avatar game is really sad. It's sad that I'm a Star Wars fan and we don't have a Star Wars multiplayer game to satisfy that galactic itch that we have to be invested at any time we want to turn on our consoles or PC. We just don't have that fresh, innovative things. And while Battlefront 2017 is fun to play from time to time, let's be honest, it's 6 years old now. It is 6 years old. It is old. It is dated. And the bugs and the glitches and the modders and the hackers are starting to show up and ruin it. We need something new. And I think Battlefront 3 can happen, should happen, needs to happen. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree or disagree? Why or why not? Have a good day. Bye, guys.